much. As you probably have heard, some very big things have happened, but the biggest seems to be that the GDP just announces all the way down to 1.6%, and it's heading south. It's going to get worse. Gas prices in California were just also announced at $7.60. Gasoline is going way up. Energy costs are going way up. And the stock market is, in a sense, crashing. The numbers are very bad. This is Bidenomics. It's catching up with him. It's lucky that it's catching up before he leaves office as opposed to after he leaves office. But this is Bidenomics. It's destroying our country at the border, destroying our country with other countries. They no longer respect the United States. I think the dollar's in tremendous trouble in terms of currency. This is going to be the standard, and it's going to be the standard with me. With Biden, you're going to lose. The dollar is the standard. That'll be like losing the biggest war we've ever lost. This morning I met with great people, construction workers, some Teamsters, and other unions, and some not in unions, and we had a fantastic morning. You were there. Some of the press was there. Great show of support. As you know, some tremendous polls came out over the last 24 hours where we're up in all of the swing states and up nationally. But one came out where we're down very little in New York. New York traditionally isn't won by Republicans anymore. It used to be 50 years ago, but not anymore. And I think we have a good chance of winning New York. We're going to give it a big play. We're going to the South Bronx to do a rally. We're going to be doing a rally at Madison Square Garden, we believe. We think we're signing Madison Square Garden to do it. We're going to have a big rally honoring the police and honoring the firemen and everybody. But we'll be honoring the people that make New York work, and we'll be doing a number of large rallies. It'll be very exciting. But we think we have a real good chance of winning New York. And again, the swing states, we're leading in every one of them, and by a lot, not just by a little, by a lot. But the big news today, I think, is the 1.6%. When you look at 1.6 GDP, that's a number that nobody thought was possible. That's a real bad number. And it looks like the projections are it's heading in the wrong direction. And that's why the stock market's down so big today. So in the meantime, I'm at this trial. My constitutional rights have been taken away from me. But every single expert, every legal scholar, every respected scholar has said this is no case. There is no case here. This is just a political witch hunt. Thank you very much.
How are you feeling about the Supreme Court argument in the trial? Are you ready to keep the argument today?
I think that the Supreme Court has a very important argument before it today. I would have loved to have been there, but this judge would not allow that to happen. I should be there, but he wouldn't allow it to happen. I think he puts himself above the Supreme Court, which is unfortunate, isn't it? But the argument on immunity is very important. The president has to have immunity. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with a president in the future, for 100 years from now. If you don't have immunity, you're not going to do anything. You're going to become a ceremonial president. You're just going to be doing nothing. You're not going to take any of the risks, both good and bad. I mean, you're going to make some great decisions and save the country, and you're going to make some decisions which are unfortunate, but that's the way it is. But you're not going to do anything if you don't have immunity, because otherwise you're going to be prosecuted after you leave office. And we don't want a ceremonial president. We have to have a real president. And assuming you have the right person, that can make a big difference. You saw that for 4 years when I was president. We were respected all over the world. We had the best economy we've ever had. Everything was good. We had no wars. We defeated ISIS. We had no wars. We had no nothing. But we were respected all over the world. And now it's a disgrace. We also, by the way, had the single best border ever in recorded history of our country. We had the best border ever. We built 571 miles of wall. We were going to build 200 more miles, far more than I said we were going to build. But we had a country that was respected, and now we have a country that's a joke. It's being laughed at all over the world, and you have riots at all the universities. The only place that's locked down is this courthouse, because they don't want any supporters here. They don't want MAGA here. They don't want anybody, and this thing is locked down like a buttoned-up vest, and it shouldn't be. If they did the same lockdown in Columbia, NYU, and the colleges and universities, you'd have no problem whatsoever. But there you can put tents up, you can stay as long as you want. But this courthouse is locked down. There's not a person within 5 blocks. They have more police here than, and I call them New York's finest because that's what they are. And they don't want to be doing this either. They'd like to be straightening out conditions, and they'd like to be at the colleges and making sure that they don't have what's happening, because what's happening at the colleges is a disgrace. All over the world, people are laughing at us. This is the worst run country right now, probably anywhere, just about. You don't get much worse. We have a president who's a disaster. We have a president who's the worst president in the history of our country. All you have to do is look at the millions of people coming in from prisons, from mental institutions, and terrorists. They're coming in at levels we've never seen before. So I'm going to go in now and sit in front of a case, election interference. This is the way they think they're going to get elected. But I guess, based on what I'm looking at, it's driving up my poll numbers, not driving them down. Thank you very much.